Hello all and welcome. Today we enter the golden era of ocean liners as we take a look at crossing oceans. This game sees us building a merchant fleet and guiding it to economic prosperity. We'll acquire steamships, we'll be taking over ports, building trading posts and competing for that blue ribbon as we expand the capability of our fleet. This one is medium complexity, plays 2 to 4 in about 60 to 90 minutes, which is probably more like 90 to 120. And we can see the designer and publisher here as well. Let's take a closer look then. Here we go then, folks. We've got a 2-player setup. We're kind of mid-game, so there's a few things going on. Now we have pretty much everything on the main board, which is a big board. So we've got all our money here. We've got our shipyard, where all the ships we could potentially buy. And we've got the docks, which we could buy ships there as well. Now, main difference there is these will have additional costs, and they get more expensive as they come out, because you've got potentially the more modern ships. And these ships, then, if we take one of them, you've got a flag, which you open to attain, which gives you set collection of points here, but you got the age of it, so how modern it is. You've got the potential income, you've got the cost of it, you've got how fast this particular ship is, so in knots, and you've got the tonnage, so you can earn income dependent on some of these stats here. You have various regions, so in this 2-player setup, this region, the North Atlantic, the Indian Ocean and the Tasmanian Sea are in play. Now I've kind of put the player boards on the map. These would be covered up with these kind of X's here. So the South Atlantic would usually look like this, but just to show you what the player boards look like, I've put them on the board as well. So we've got the Rondelle where we're doing our actions. You've got the flow of a turn, 1, 2 and 3, which will give you a good demonstration of how that works. And you're basically placing these ships out here to make income, to get sort of extra VPs, and just basically acquire the most VPs by the end of the game once these stacks have run out. And these stacks go from 1 to 9. So I've got a whole host of other ships to come out here as well. And at the end of the game, you can see some of these sort of particular locations come out as well to give you some chances to get more victory points. Now, what you're going to do then on your turn. So number 1, you can place a ship out. So you might have bought some ships on a previous action and you want to place it out. So let's say we want to go on this spot here. There is an empty spot. Great. Now, if there wasn't, you would have to oust the oldest ship, as long as your ship is moderner. And in this case, we've got an empty spot, so we're going to place it there. You're going to put one of your captains on it, and you're going to immediately take a coal. Now, when you start the game, some of these ships and these clippers actually don't require coal to be ready, so bear that in mind. So we literally placed a ship. Now, if we didn't want to do that, or we had no ships, we could have just took a contract. And these contracts are great, because if you just keep a few aside, the second action, which is optional, you can spend these contracts. So you could do this many times as you want, depending on how many contracts you have. So what could you spend these on then? You could get 20 bucks. You could take a coal and place it on one of your ships, or you could have added movement to your go, which I'll talk about in a moment. 2 contracts could get you one of these trading houses onto the board as long as your ship is ready. So these guys here in yellow, if it was their go, they could go, right, I'm placing one of these here. My ship is ready. And the conditions are, it's in port, which it is. This is known in port. It's ready with a coal. You'd spend the coal to the supply, and you now have a trading house. You would also, it reminds you here, take one of these colours here. So they don't match up to any location. You just take the one you're sort of working on, which is the type of goods, and you place it on here, and I'll talk about how you set collect points later. Now, this action is, again, on option 3, which is house. But for this one, you don't get the income of the actual ship you use, which would have been 30, whereas you do on this option here. And these trading houses, I'll talk a little bit more about on the house option, because there's ways to, but you have to pay other players if they've already built there. So that's what you can do with your contracts, or if you've got none, just skip it on and go to number 3. So what have we got on the Rondelle? So the first one we have is ships. This is how you're going to acquire ships from up here, like we said, to be able to place them on future rounds. Now, you can buy up to 1 to 3, but no matter how many you buy, you're going to be replenishing the shipyard and shifting these down into the docks and shifting those from the dock out of the game with 3 ships every single time that action takes place. So let's demonstrate that then. Red player can move 1 to 3 places ahead of them, so they're going clockwise. And if they wanted to go further, they could go all the way up to the spot they're on. Well, not on the spot before it. They would have had to have spent that contract to utilise that action there. And only one contract to move as far as they wish. So they're going to move one spot for ships. Hopefully they've got loads of money. You're going to need your money. So they're going to buy, right, maybe they buy this ship here. So it's going to cost them £100. But there's no extra charges there, which is great. So they pay the money to the supply. Boom. They put this in front of them and they take the token and put it on the top there to show how many tokens they're collecting. Let's just say we went and bought this one here. So 80 plus the 40, 120. Put this ship in front of them, which is just off camera view, and place that token there. Maybe they just haven't got enough money for another ship. So you then move. You need at least 3 spots here to replenish. So we're going to move this one down, which bumps this one off here. And we're going to move this one onto there. We've now got 3 spots. We bring all these ships right down here and we replenish from the top. And you will then put flags matching the colour ships onto these so players can acquire them on future turns. So what have we got? We've got that one, and we've got this one here. Great, we've replenished. So that was their go. Clockwise then, the next players, they're like, right, yellows, I want to place a ship. And, well, we've sort of demonstrated taking a ship. Let's take a contract instead. Well, they're going to spend this contract. Do I want money? No. Do I want coal? Yes, because I want to come to this spot. So we spend our contract, we take a coal, we load it up on one of our ships. Now, there's kind of a equal distribution of coal amongst your ships. So let's just say, where are we, yellows? So this one doesn't need coal, and you've got 3 ships in play. You couldn't just plonk a coal on there and have 2 on that and none on these. So you have to evenly distribute. So we go 1 there first, then 1 here, and then you can start putting your 2s out, and then maybe your 3s out. And you can never have more than 3 coal there. So we've put a coal on here because this is now ready for us to potentially earn some income. So over here then, I should probably have looked where our location is. So what can we do? A house. Maybe we want to do that. Ships. We've demonstrated ships. Cargo. Let's do the house over here. So we're going yellows, and we have a ready ship that is in port, and we don't already have a trading house in Bombay. So we spend the coal, we take one of our trading houses, we put it there. No one else is there, so we don't have to pay anyone. If there was another player there, you would have to pay them 30 bucks. Okay, so we also get income from the ship, and that's the difference. If you utilize this option, you don't get the income, but if you do the house, you are getting 50 bucks. So we'll take that one, and that's yellow, and we equally get one of these of our choice. So you're like, okay, I'll take that one, and I'll probably take the greens because I've got a green flag, and you pay any costs that are on the board below, so you'd have to pay 30 bucks. But you can see we're working this column down, and for each flag, you're going to get the number of victory points to the left of it. So at the moment, this is worth 7 victory points for this flag. Now, if you start collecting these trading houses, let's say we go for this white one here, you can see at the moment, so we have 5 victory points, but we've got no flags, and that's where you have to buy the right ships with the right flags to collect these points for the end of the game. Okay, what have we got to demonstrate? So we've done house then. That's how you can earn some income if you have got if using this option here. Ships, we've shown you how to buy those. Cargo then. So let's just assume the player hadn't gone to house and this was still a ready ship. They would look at that particular ship and you can see its tonnage. So this ship can carry 5,000 tons. For each 1,000 tons, you're going to get £10. So this is potentially £50. So we're going to do that. We go to cargo. Well, we would have done all these first, so bear that in mind, you didn't want to, but let's just demonstrate the action. And you'd have utilised your coal because it's ready. 5,000, yep, you're going to get your 50 bucks. And that is cargo. That's how you're going to earn money that way. Coal then, what does that do? You look at your coal column here and you can see we've currently got 3 icons of coal. So we could take 3 coal and we could distribute. Now you do have the option as well, and it says it all in your reference sheet, to buy one of these coal piers. So you could do this first, and if you got the money to, and pay 30 bucks, you're now producing more coal. You're investing in that type of infrastructure. So in this case, you do that, you take 4 coal, and remember you distribute them evenly across your ships. So we'd have to go 1 there, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, because this one down here, if I can show you, does not require coal because it's one of those earlier ships that is powered by good old wind. Okay, that's called region then. What can we do there? Regions where you target a specific one of these areas known as a region. So these are all the little ports and that's a region. So in doing so, you are triggering all your ships that are ready, as well as other players. So if the yellow's triggered here, they would get the income at the top. So 40 bucks and spend a coal, 30 bucks, spend a coal, and the red player would equally spend their coal, they have to get 30 bucks as well, even though it's not their go. You'd also get money, the player who activated region, for your trading houses, and it's 30 bucks per trading house. What else have we got? We've got blue ribbons. So this is about the North Atlantic race, and you are potentially going to get a little bonus of double your income, and one of these icons, the prestigious blue ribbon, which sort of set collect on the side here, which gives you loads of VPs, and these one nicely, there's no costs underneath them. So how would we do that? So say yellows did it, they have got the faster ship, which they happen to have, and it is ready. So you can see the knots here is 16, these guys are 15, well that was the neutral player at the beginning, and no one else has got a speed there. So we are the fastest ship. If there was a tie, you could still potentially win it, but you'd need 2 coal on there to spend, because your employees on the ship are working extra hard to power it. So what do we do then? You need your ship to be ready. Yes, it is. We are going to spend the coal, and we are the fastest ship. So we get double income, which would be 40 times 2 is 80 bucks. Another way to generate income. We take one of these, pop it on there, and that one flag is now worth 7. What else have we got? I think our last action we have not shown you is fleet. This is all of your ships across all the regions you're going to score income for, as long as they are ready. So if yellows did this right now, nope, this one's not going to participate. They're going to get 30 bucks for that one, spend that. They're going to get 50 for that one. And this one doesn't require coal, so they're going to get 20. That's a nice way to get income from a load of your ships, especially if you've managed to use this coal option here. So if you've gone coal, filled everything with coal, and on the next round you spent that contract to go more than 3 spaces, you come to fleet and you rinse all your ships and get loads of money. So some nice areas to get money. Now you literally keep going. Next player goes 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, and these ships are going to flow out. Once you have exhausted this big, large pile of ships, you will trigger the game end, and you get to play out 3 more rounds, and it represents sort of putting coal on the starting player, and you play 3 more rounds. You then add up victory points, which is nicely shown on the board here. So each contract and each coal in play is going to get 20 bucks. Turn all your money into victory points, so 100 bucks is 1 VP. Then any of these trading houses you have put on the board is 3 victory points, and any captains that remain out there at the end is 3 victory points as well. And then you will score the bulk of your points from here. Now, what have we got going on? So these multicoloured flags, you will score points depending on how many flag types you put out. At the moment, it's free. But if we have, so we get 3 victory points for each one of these tokens. If it was this case, however, we'd have 5 victory points for each one of those. You then score downwards, so this one flag here, and you'd probably have about 6 or 7 at the end, would be 1 times the 7 VPs. 1 times 7, 1 times 7, 1 times 5, and 1 times 3. So that's why it's important to get the certain ships and target certain areas to get maximum points. So whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, what are some of the sort of key strategies you're looking for in this game? Well, it's about timing of these ships and their longevity. So if you place a ship out in here now, let's say the Reds are coming in, they got 1883. This ship is getting bumped out because it's 1862, and that's what you use this red lantern to represent, is what's the older ship. This will go, this ship comes in because there wasn't an empty space here, having to kick someone out. We then look at the next oldest ship, which is this one here, 1870. So we're reminding everyone, that, and that player in particular, look, your ship's going to get kicked off. Now, these guys would have had a replenishment of coal, and they put their captain on, and they're probably going to stay there for a little while. So there's competition over your ships and how modernised they are. And these guys now have a knot speed of 17. So these guys can't go for the blue ribbon that they were maybe manipulating. They've also got a tonnage of 7,000. Now, if you go through some of the 7s, look at it. Oh, look at that. Good luck. Well, I don't know if that's good luck or not, but the Titanic, 47,000 tonnage. So if you just cover the zeros, 47 times the 10, you're going to get 470 bucks. And look how fast it is, 23 knots. So you got a host of ships, and you're trying to make money from tonnage, through cargo, maybe the blue ribbon and get those. Maybe you're getting these trading houses out and targeting the region action. So if you take control of all this area again and again and again, and just rinse it for 30 bucks per, or 30 pounds for each one of these trading houses, and you've got some nice income earnings from the ships. So you're all about just generating this income and spending it again to get the flags, to set collect them here and make the most points for the win. There we are. Enjoy.